from your companion person.
Rip.
R.I.P. That the dungeon fucks with time. They were trying to figure out why. They just knew it fucked with time, and were trying to change how to work it to their advantage. You guys went further into the dungeon against. I believe the character's name was Eric. Against Eric's judgment, and you found a group of snake people, who you took, I guess, relatively quick work of in
They
bloody fashion.
massacred them.
If we weren't punching them, they probably would have died a lot faster.
That's
Kind
why
of-
our combat's
Ripped
too
off their
long.
nose, their
Kind of,
ears, shoved their own arm down their throat. It was a
Kind-
massacre.
kind of establishing some form of teamwork along the way. You did not end up finding Dopey, and as you were leaving, half of you were under the effects of some kind of spell that slowed you. One of you was held completely still. And crap, what's his name?
Derek?
And Xerix had grabbed a crystal that had been glowing in the middle of the room, and he had seemed to just freeze up in place as well. Very out of it. You all managed to escape after having an encounter with some kind of entity that zipped through the room and had words with Xanster, and as quickly as it appeared, it vanished, taking with it a sword hilt that it had ripped from the inner beings of your compatriot Eric, and it had vanished. And as it vanished, the library had started to crumble around you at a rapid pace, and you all rushed out. And you all made it out safely, and you were on your way back to town, left to your own devices and your own thoughts on what had just happened. So, what do you guys wish to do? You exited the library. A jungle has sprouted around the library. But as you were walking back to town, all remained looking normal, as you had left it not a few hours ago. Around the library, because the library is outside of town, and so it was a bit of a walk back. About 10 to 15 minutes outside of town was this old library. And so as you're walking back, you can see in clear view, it's relatively flat, the outer wooden wall with the two familiar guards standing outside, and you can see kind of the tops of some of the houses peeking out over the wooden fence that surrounds the town of Cirencester. So you guys are left to go back. You can go throughout town, find out what you will, try to research what happened, try to ask questions about what happened, talk to some people of interest that might know what happened, some of the higher up figures or the people who have their ear closer to the ground. you all know that in Sirencaster there is a tavern that has been there for quite some time. That the owner or the bartender might know something or heard stuff about. Xanster has interacted with the blacksmith who might know some things. And Gavin, as you were recently posted, sent down here to talk with the captain guard. She might also know some of the stuff about down here. Or the locals might know some stuff here or there. And there's also traveling merchants that may or may not know stuff. It just depends. But you guys are left to go wander about the town, converse with each other, figure out what happened, figure out what you're looking back. So, as you are walking back into Sirencaster, you probably got about 20, 30 feet before you are at the gate. What do you guys want to do?
I'll go question this guard chick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to someone local.
I'm gonna talk to the blacksmith.
Okay.
I will also be heading to the blacksmith.
Okay. Are you guys splitting up? Are you guys going to each of these places as like a group?
I'd say probably splitting up.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so
Grant.
yeah. But
So it's going to give you a lot of pages to flip.
no, that's fine. It's all good. I was looking more so for my sketch of the town, so I can see which ones people would hit first. Oh wait, I have Sirencaster built on Dungeon Fog. Okay, so as you're walking back in from the exit, what are my groups who are going where?
Anybody else
I'm going to the
talk
tavern.
locals?
Shadow wanted to go talk to some locals. Flynn, you said
I'm going back.
to the guard.
Yeah.
Guard captain. Xanster and Prill,
Willamir and I are going to blacksmith.
the blacksmith. Ness said he wanted to go to the tavern/inn.
I'm gonna go with Ness.
Alright, and Glenn will be accompanying them. Okay, so as you guys are walking back, milling about, just go down the list here. So, they're just locals that are just walking around town, just minding their own business, perusing their day. So, Shadow, what did you want to go and talk to them about? Is there anything of interest you wanted, or did you just want to kind of get a lay of the land, or?
Yeah, definitely lay of the land.
Okay, so the local, from talking to the locals, you gather that as of lately, more and more adventures have been coming around that normally don't. Normally it's a somewhat quieter town, but lately there have been a lot of people coming around asking about the library. Every now and then. And Zerkix is going to go to his. He has a room at the inn, and he's just. He's gonna go and contemplate and reflect on what happened in the dungeon. He is going to be processing all the everything that happened when he grabbed the crystal. But you get a sense that there have been a lot more adventure activity as of late as the myth of the library secret dungeon seemed to have grown, and which the locals all say is preposterous because the library's been abandoned for years, and it was more or less a old wise tale about not going into the creepy abandoned ruins of a desecrated building that parents would tell their kids that various monsters, depending on the person you talk to, inserted into what lies beyond the desecrated ruins of the library. You gather that the library has been there for some time, and it was about a little over 100 years ago, about 100, 110, that that there was a big fight. Like some war patrols had been coming in, and they had shrunken the city down from being out, because the library used to be inside the city walls, but as it has shrunken back, they shrunk it back to kind of bolster their forces and keep the majority of like the housing district safe and the main part of the merchant square, as they figured that those were more valuable than the outer reaches of what was beyond. And most of it had returned to farmland, but the library, no one ever wanted to touch, as they felt like, as the stories grew around it, that it was like haunted, or that people that go in there mysteriously vanish and never return. So they figured, let it be. Then maybe it was used as some kind of, in addition to being a library, maybe some kind of like worshipping temple where people prayed to certain gods and the gods were protecting it. Very superstitious people around these parts. Very multi-god loving community. They try their best to appease many of the gentler gods to protect them and keep them safe, as trying not to offend any of the ones that don't. In case something were to happen again, they would like to do that. You also gather that there's been a lot more guard activity, but as far as the locals wise know, they don't have any real understanding of why. Maybe whispers here and there of, oh, I heard this, or I heard that, but nothing like concrete from the local standpoint. Who wants to go next? The tavern's at the very end of town, or at the other side of town, so that'll be the farthest away. And the guard post is pretty close to that, but the blacksmith is right across from the guard captain's post. So, who would like to go next?
I'll go. Fuck it.
Great. Okay. So, all right. Quick aside. Did I ever tell you a name for that blacksmith?
No.
Okay. So, you and Frilimir, as you're all heading back through town, and Shadow kind of dips off on her own, and she starts conversing with the locals. Very charismatic, talking to all these people, just extracting tidbit, like coffee side chat. Kind of talks just about the town, just how she's new around here, and how she's just trying to find out, as she's laying down that groundwork and just talking, conversing with the locals, being real friendly, finding out kind of what she could. No one like discernible, no one pops out. They're just all trying to go about their lives. As she dips off and does that, Zanster and you all get to the fountain at the center of town, where the travelers, merchants, and Zanster and Frilimir, you go to the right, and off towards the blacksmith. Flynn, you head back to the captain's stable. Who just left? Flynn, great. You back, Evan?
Yeah, my internet turned off for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Flynn, you head back. You head to the left, towards the guard and captain's table, and Glenn and Ness and Zerkix, you guys all head in one way or the other, just around to the other side of the fountain, and you start heading into the tavern. Xanster and Frilimir. As you walk up, Xanster, the dwarven, the hardy dwarven man, looks up and recognizes you, and he goes, "Oi, hey there, big friend. What can I do for you now?"
Do I notice anything different about him? Like a time change?
No.
Similar to, I guess, what
He
you were
has-
going on with Shadow.
He has he kind of has soot, the soot from his forge on him still. All the items that are there are still the same. The weapons you had sold off to him and traded with him look a bit nicer than when you left them, but nothing that you would discern as a few hours couldn't handle by any good blacksmith.
When was the last time you saw me?
Well, let me think. You came into town. Your blue friend made quite a ruckus, and got some of the locals a little worked up. Probably, I don't know, yesterday, day before.
Haley.
Why ask?
No reason. Has there been any changes in the town? Or have you noticed any cult activity of any kind in the town? Or do you know, what do you know about that library we went to?
Well, for cold activity, been an awful lot of guards nosing around here lately.
I get that.
But, nah, a few more folks looking to purchase some of my goods than normal. Most of them city adventures too good for my instruments, I suppose. But no one that doesn't stick around town for more than a day or two.
You said yesterday for that time difference, right? That's what you told
Yeah,
me?
maybe. Yeah, yesterday, I think. Maybe day before. I honestly get lost in my work. I couldn't.
Well, yeah.
discern the
Like,
difference to you, but yeah.
You said there's a forest outside the library when we walked out it, right? That wasn't there before?
Oh, DM wise, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. I'm gonna ask him about that if he's noticed that change.
Can't say that I've noticed anything out of my ordinary, but I stick to this end of town. I live in my forge, so I don't visit that side of town too much. No beer down there. I got the tavern right here, right next to my town, right next to my house. Why would I go down there? So sorry, can't help you with that.
Get that.
But what did you ask him?
Well, there was a forest that wasn't there when we went into the library, and now there is.
A forest just sprouting out from the last time I saw you.
I know things
You
don't
okay,
grow that fast, even at my intelligence level.
Exactly. So, are you feeling okay? You sure you saw forest outside of town?
I don't know what I saw now. There's been a lot of things that happened in a very short amount of time.
I think you need some rest. I think you've been hitting it a little too hard, if you ask me. But
I think I need to hit it harder.
I understand that. What about you? Lanky fella? You look like you could use a good weapon.
Well, in regards to a weapon, I actually am curious if you have any knowledge of what this sword would be. So I pull out the blade that we grabbed from in our hastily retreat and have him inspect it.
Yeah, sure. He like eyes it over for a little bit. He kind of nods. Just scratches his face a little bit. A lot of huffing and he goes, one sec. And he goes back and he grabs a hammer and he takes it and he whacks it. Goes, yeah, it's a brass sword. What do you want? What about it? Pretty shoddy craftsmanship. I could make one better. You want a better one? I would make a much better sword than this, and out of much stronger material.
No, I was just curious if there was anything interesting about it, but because it's a brass sword and you say it's shoddy craftsmanship.
It's shoddy craftsmanship. I mean, it's for battle wise, it doesn't seem that strong. I mean, I want to design the handle in such a way that it looks the handle in such a way like this. I don't think it'd be easy to hold. It's and as he's explaining and pointing it out, the handle itself is like super like a cylinder with like light grooves into it. And as he's pointing it out, he's like, you see here, if this were to get wet with like your enemy's blood per se, it would slip out of your hand very easily. And as he's like running it down, you can see that like the bottom part is like the hand, like it's broken off, and he's like, it looks like it was some kind of creature, but the head's broken off. Again, shoddy craftsmanship. My intricate designs now much better, would actually stay, would not break. This could be some kind of a, I don't know, snake, I guess, some kind of worm, perhaps. He kind of looks at it, he's like, I don't know, it feels funny. I mean, it may have held some kind of wizardry, as he said, and he says it with like disgust. Done to such a blade, which I mean, I guess I would do too if it was this terrible, but some artificer mumbo jumbo, I'm sure.
Well,
otherwise, as is, it's a very cheap blade. The Crown's Guard might use it for practice, but not much for actual combat.
already. Well, I do appreciate the info. And I might think about getting one of your blades.
Well, I'll tell you, if you do, I could make a very good sword. And it would last you a very, very long time. And if you guys and your friends may be up to it, I might have some work for you guys, and we could talk about discounts at my store. If y'all's are interested at some point, but you look kind of tired, so you ought to be getting to the inn and getting some drinking done. Maybe some sleep.
We appreciate that, and we will pass along the info.
Yeah, all right. I'll be seeing you. If that's all you'll want. So, do you guys
So I'm probably gonna head out and
Go.
head back to the inn.
All right.
I'm gonna ask him if he's ever seen any snake-like creatures in the area before.
Snake-like creatures.
Like humanoid, snakish. Has he seen any in the area? Maybe around the library, coming in and out.
Again, I don't leave town. I have lots of work to do here. So no, not around town. They make kind of a fuss. Some of the locals here, kind of racist. Don't really like snake people since the battle that halved our city size a few years back. So no, snake people not very much welcome here.
Alright. Well, that's all I've got to ask him.
All right, I'll be here.
I head to the tavern and get some drinks, as you say.
All right, I'll be here if you need anything. And with that, he bids you adieu, and as soon as you turn around, you hear metal on metal clanging as he starts going back to whatever project he was working before you guys had gotten there. Okay. As for Flynn, when you walked in into the guard's post, you see her outside of her tent. She is hanging over the desk. You being here, having been talked to at her, or she had been talking at you before you headed out here. Before you headed out, she told you to keep an eye on the crowd making a bit of a ruckus. And you and a few of the other guards are the only ones that know that she is a she, as she tries to keep it. She outside of her tent. She doesn't. She's always in her armor, as to she thinks command more respect and authority from the locals, as she doesn't know how they take their captain guard that was sent to this post being a girl. So
She human?
yes, human. Be very easy to identify as a girl, but when she's outside of her tent, she is fully armored and she talks with her voice, very gruff, very convincing. But as you walk up, they are over their table, charting on the map, scratching down more notes, and setting up little flags and stuff, just very diligently, like looking over the map and comparing some of the scrolls that she had recently gotten from a squire, and is like relocating objects on the map, trying to figure. She looks very flustered, very busy, very in her task as you walk up.
Can I read, like, can I figure out what she's doing? Like, whatever?
Yeah, from your experience, she, you know that she is charting some form of enemy around the map. And as she looks at the scrolls, she puts more down, almost trying to like figure out or like see for some kind of pattern of things. You see quite a few red flags where last time you had been here, there was maybe one or two flags. But now there seems to be at minimum like 10. So you can see that she's you can discern that she is plotting either like attack spots or places where battles have happened.
Can I ask her what I've missed?
Yeah. Yeah. Right lot. How first off, rookie, how is your assignment with the newcomers?
We encountered some snake people, and I was wondering if you've seen any more in the area.
Snake people? This far
Snake
south?
people.
No, I have not seen any snake people. I have been too busy dealing with the Knoll invasion hitting small villages around the area. And she kind of puts the papers down, and she kind of sits back and just, sorry, I didn't mean to come off so angry, just very overwhelmed at the moment. Snake people, no snake people. We haven't had. There hasn't been snake people in this area for years at this point. Like a generation or two back, maybe there would have been. But at that point, this place was all was mostly desert. So no snake people here.
Can I show her my necklace and to like prove those snake people and ask her where they would have came from?
As you present her the necklace, she kind of like looks at it, and, like looks up at you, and very curious, and she just like slow, like holds it out like this. Yes, quite the relic.
Freaking gross.
A present from your new friends, perhaps?
I made
my
it in
God.
first class.
A present from your friends, perhaps?
I don't really call them
I
my
made it out
friends,
of
but
macaroni.
Yes. Well, anyway, our attention is required elsewhere, and not so much chasing these fairy tales, Flynn. Maybe if you were to help with the invasions around town, maybe I could put some of our resources towards your snake people.
all right, where's the nearest bad guy? I don't even know what you called them.
Knowles. She goes, well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. So we have lots of pressing issues as they have been working their way here. And she points to her map, and she shows the red flags kind of making a this kind of zigzag pattern heading towards this town currently. Was the last one was probably about a few miles out. And she explains, these are all towns, or these are all uh, houses or hovel groups that have been getting attacked by what they have described as big wolf people, which anyone above commoner knows is probably a knoll. But for them to be moving at this speed in this fashion, we think that there might be a little more to them than leads on. However, as you are new around here, rookie, I will cut you a deal, as I am worn very thin and would like to not deal with this. She gestures towards the town. Civilization destination, I guess. For much longer, but the quartermasters will not let me leave. I
Okay.
So tell you what, if you and your ragtag group claim to have defeated, and she holds up the necklace,
It's not claim, man. He's got ears.
this,
Yeah.
then you must be very talented. And she just hands it back slowly. So, maybe you can convince your friends to do a little missionary work. But we will keep that. Yes, thank you. Mercenary work.
You all now believe in Jesus.
Got you, bro. I got you, bro.
Mercenary work. But we'll keep that on the down low. And maybe I can invest some relieved guards to help look into your cities or your snake people more so than the basic town knowledge. But maybe you should all get together and talk to me about it, and we can discuss in further detail. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to reassign you to more pressing matter. But you really look like you need some rest, yeah?
Can talk to my team or the team, but I have one more question.
Yeah.
Does the town know that all the other surrounding villages are being attacked?
No. And we would like to keep it as quiet as possible, as not to spread mass panic throughout the southern districts here. The Crown is working very hard to make sure that this doesn't push into more desirable location.
Do we have the resources to defend this town though?
I mean, we have sent more people than we have more guards in town than normal, but we still do not know if these claims are worth much more effort than a couple extra guards per outpost.
Alright. I'm gonna go to the inn and get some rest.
Yeah, you do that. I have so much paper to do. And she goes back to like scribbling down like notes on her scrolls and like looking at one and looking at the other. And Hoff like crumbling one up and like tossing it behind her towards her tent. And she starts putting more dots down and removing some flags and relocating them to other places on the map. And as you walk away, you hear her kind of cussing under her breath and being like, why did I get assigned here? And as that's happening, Flynn starts heading back to, or starts heading towards the tavern. And as, so while he was having that conversation, and the other two were at the blacksmith, Ness and Glenn, as you guys walk into the tavern, you see Zerkix kind of just like dip off to the side right as he enters the door, kind of muttering to himself, to themselves. And he walks right up to the back, and you hear him like skittering up some stairs, and you hear a door like shut, a little rough, but he just goes to what is assumed to be his room that he had been renting out. As you walk in, there's a few people in the tavern. You see a halfling male running the bar, dipping back and forth real fast, filling up drinks pretty fast. It's not packed in here, but there's probably like 5 or 6 guests kind of scattered throughout. One is at like each end of the bar, so you see him like hopping down behind the bar, brushing around, clinking some glasses, pouring some beer, and hopping up and slamming it in front of one, and then bouncing back over and slamming it in front of the other. And just a few of the locals just meandering about. 2 of them are sitting there drinking a bit. One of them's nearly passed out. He's very like rocky, just sitting there with about 4 or 5 mugs hanging around his table, and he just looks super out of it. And then like a nice little couple sitting there just talking quietly over some drinks.
I want to go talk to the guy that's rocking back and forth, completely wasted.
Okay. So as you walk up, he takes no notice of you as he is just staring at his like 5th or 6th mug, and he's just like eyeing it real good. There he goes. And just starts drinking it. And then just slams it and goes, "Oi, cattle! I need another." And his eyes kind of go, one of his eyes kind of goes down, and the other one kind of goes up, and you hear, I think you had enough there. And he goes, "I'll tell you when I had enough, cattle. Just bring me another one." And he just chucks a few coins towards the bar. He goes, "Please." And you just hear, from the little halfling in the back, and you see him like skitter up, and he goes, "Here." And he takes some coins that were on the table, and he goes, "You know, you really shouldn't be drinking this much, but coin's always good. So, you do you." And he just skitters off back towards the bar, take care of his other patrons, swinging back to the couple, make sure they're doing okay before he heads off and steps back behind the bar.
I sit down across from him.
What do you want?
I've got a question for you, bud.
Yeah. I don't very
How
much
many have
like
you had?
questions.
Well, I like answers.
Well, good on you.
First off, how many have you had?
Not enough.
11 to 7.
Yeah.
I'll buy you another round, but do you know anything about the library or anything that's been going on weird in this town?
No. Libraries. We don't have a library in the town.
Well, you had, but do you know the history of it?
The history of the library not in the town.
Not in the town, yes.
We ain't got a library in the town. I'll take that route. Get him! Roll roll an insight check.
Well, that sucks. 3.
You can keep asking questions all you want. To you, he seems to maybe he'll answer.
I'll buy your next round.
It's 2 rounds down.
Wow, it's still the first one. He hadn't taken me up on the. I'll buy that next round if you tell me everything you know about that library. I'm gonna press on that library.
He kind of swings an eye at you and he goes. He gets in your face. You can just smell the alcohol in his breath and he goes, "We ain't got a library in town." Get him! You're welcome. And he
You're welcome.
burps real loud in your face and goes, "Rounds on this lizard." Just swings back in his chair. You start to get the feeling that you aren't going to get much out of him.
Okay, then I walk up to the halfling and tell him about what's it called? That his next round is gonna be basically mostly water. What the hell? What the hell they call those?
I don't know if you like that.
I don't care.
You're gonna
I'm
get
buying.
in
Make them pissed off.
If you say so, okay. But you're giving it to him, not me.
Okay.
I don't like being swung at. So he pours you your
Water mix thing.
waterlogged beer, and he just looks at it, kind of eyes it. He's like, "What can I do for you besides this?" by the way.
How much is it for a room for a night?
Oh, a room for the night. For yourself or for you and your? And he looks at the guy you came in with, and he goes, "Friend."
Oh, we're not together.
No.
Yes.
Oh. Well, if you need a one bedroom, I kind of like looks at you, looks across, and goes, it'll be like 3 copper. If you want a 2-bedroom, if you want a 2-bed one, it'll be 5. We have about 5 to 6 rooms to choose from if you want. Most have 2 beds though. But we do have a honeymoon suite if you so desire.
I can't hear anything, Grant.
He says, we have a bunch of rooms, about 6 rooms that you can rent out. Most are 2 bedrooms, but if you want, we do have a honeymoon suite.
Okay, are we back?
Rip, he is kill.
Hello?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
I can't hear anything.
Can't hear nothing.
Clap your heads if you can hear us. Not you. I gotta take that
I've
as
got
a
no sound whatsoever.
Okay.
Somebody flip me a finger if you can at least hear me.
We can hear you.
What in the world?
Did you deafen yourself?
He might have deafened himself.
No, it shows up on next to your portrait if you're deaf.
Yeah.
Boom.
What about now?
Can you hear me
Video.
now?
Now his video's not even loading.
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear
We
him?
are back. We're back on the lines, yes.
Moved him to general and back up. Apparently that worked.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard?
Whatever was said right before I said I'd take the ale to Drunken McGee.
Oh, okay. He said that he has many rooms available. They got about 6 rooms. Most are 2 beds. But we do have and he eyes you your friend that you walked in with. He's like, a honeymoon suite with 1 large bed, if you so desire.
I don't like what you're insinuating.
We don't have a lot of guy pairs come through here. Is all.
Basically, they don't
Never
judge.
seen
you know?
friends walk into a bar together before?
I mean, you both look pretty tattered up, and you look like you've had a night on the town together. Is all I'm saying.
We'll take 2 bedroom, or we'll take 2 bed.
Okay.
Will?
That'll be 5 copper for the room then.
How much for a meal?
And
Oh, for meals. I got a few odds and ends I could throw to you together. We got a pretty basic commoner's porridge if you want. That'll run you about 1 copper. We got but it'll fill you. We got a good platter with some high-end meats and some veggies. So that'll be about 3 copper. And then if you want to go, really fancy, we got the, we got the, platter. That has like a really nice steak, with some potatoes, and it comes with some wine.
Potato. I'll just have.
And that runs you like 2 silver. So
I'll just get meat and veggies
okay,
with a water.
okay. Yep. Water.
I'll take
you
it for
you say-
myself.
You say that, and you got eyes. You goes water. Okay.
Water.
This is a.
You have water here?
We have tap water.
That's fine.
Okay. And he. Total, that'll be about 6 copper for the meal and the room.
I'll cover.
Do you have any information on somewhere in town I could find out about magical items, or maybe someone who knows them about them in this town?
I have a few places you might. I have a few people that you might need to talk to. But I guess that would depend on what kind of magic items you are looking for. Are you looking to talk about your typical enchantments? Are you looking to
Hold on.
talk about? Are you looking to talk about the
Probably.
high? There are some people that might know much more, but they're a little farther away. But around these parts, the only reason I ask is because around these parts, for a while at least, there was people that were really into crafting their own magical items. This was one of the founding grounds of the art. So,
Are those
if you-
people here in town?
there are a few, not in town, a little ways away, but they started around here. But there is a. But if you want, if you wanted to head up to Bull Creek, the city up north of here, they might be able to talk to you about certain magic items, but that's your typical wizard. Magical items, not so much your blacksmith, artificer stuff.
I was
they-
more.
they
thinking
have-
of, like,
Because they have.
probably enchantments. most
Okay.
likely.
That might be where you want to go because they have up there. They have studying wizards, studious, very small school, but they have very intelligent wizards up there that might know more about your enchantments.
Well, that helps.
Yeah. If you're looking for enchanted items, I would recommend heading north to Bull Creek. They have a small school for young, upcoming, magically inclined people.
I thank you for telling me that. I'm gonna go sit down at a table, wait for my meal.
Okay, I have that right up for you. about this time is when the rest of the lot of you start to kind of filter in. There are a few tables set up around here. Some of them are close together, squarish, so you could smash them together and make room if you all wanted to sit at one table. Otherwise, there are some booths that are like back to back where you can kind of split your party up and sit together if you wanted to, or you guys could sit across the way if you wanted to. As you filter in, you can choose how to do that. By this time, Glenn will be sitting down waiting for his food as the rest of you kind of filter in.
All right.
We're all in the place now.
Yes, you are all at or just entering the tavern, the Silver Eagle Inn.
Well, I'm going to go ahead.
I'm gonna go to bed as well. For the I'm gonna get a room as well.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Let's see. Zerkix has a room. Lunas has a room. Glenn has bought a room. Shadow has a room. Or leaving. Okay. Yes. It'll be 3 copper from 3 copper from you, ma'am, and 3 copper from you, good sir.
Oh, do I see how much money I have?
If you go to your page, and you go to
Mine's under equipment.
equipment, you'll see currency, and you can.
Oh, I have 10 gold.
Yeah, you have 10 gold. So you can click that, and then you click it, and it'll pop up with this little diagram. You can hit where it says copper, and you can hit 3 and hit remove.
It doesn't change the gold though.
Oh, it doesn't.
You have to do it yourself. And I assume you're not using Electrum or whatever the fuck.
No, we're
that
not
is.
using Electrum because we're not stupid.
Never
So
heard that in my
how
life.
it works is you would have 9 gold, 9 silver,
Say it's,
and 7 copper left. Got it.
it's 3 cups.
3 copper.
You said 9 silver.
Your total left over would be
I can change mine.
I just
Yeah.
got mine.
okay,
But I have 9 gold, 9 silver, and 7 copper.
7 copper. Yes.
Alright. That's easy.
Okay. And deduct yours accordingly. Glenn, yours was 6 copper.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have 95 gold. How does he only have 10?
Because you went on an adventure
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and you had loot.
Going on that trip in our
I'm gonna say I'm like fucking wealthy with 10. I thought.
95.
You
I think
broke.
Dopey used to have way more money.
Yeah.
I like started with 100, I think. Or some shit. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, but that's because you were playing
performer.
and you were wealthy and you were this and that. Okay. So Flynn, you're going right to bed?
Yeah.
Okay. So Flynn goes to bed. What about you, Shadow? You walk in and you see Glenn. You see Glenn sitting down at a table, looking like he's waiting for something. As you walk in and you're kind of surveying the area, you see Flynn go
Great
up,
name choices, bro.
talk to the bartender, and disappear back towards the rooms. So do you want to go straight to bed, or are you gonna go sit down with Glenn?
I'll go sit down with Glenn.
Okay. Ness, what are you doing?
Delivering his.
I kind of wanted to. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see what would happen.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I feel in the end of it, it might end up being like a murder hobo kind of thing, but I want to see what happens.
Okay, so you do that. As you're waiting for him to finish up your drink, this dude's that too. Frilimir and Zanster, what are you doing?
I'm gonna sit down at a table. Food, drink.
Are you sitting alone, or are you gonna sit down next to
Who's sitting down?
Glenn and Shadow are currently at a table.
You're a big guy.
I'll sit with him.
Okay. And Frilly Boy?
That's my plan too. I'm also gonna get room and food and
Okay.
a drink. A stout, hearty drink.
We
Boy.
do not have stouts here, as they are and hard to keep in. We have some.
Drink nonetheless.
Okay. Drink nonetheless.
None that comes from the musician though. It has to be from you.
Yes. It is very odd that he wishes to go and hand deliver his drinks on him, but nonetheless, money is money. I will gladly take it. So he sets down a bunch and he pours them all out, or he pours out all the drinks. He rushes back. He grabs some food. He hands Glenn his food and water. He gives you a weird look again as he puts it down. Goes, you look like someone that would really benefit from a good drink or two. But people have their preferences.
I'm sure you like money as well.
Yes, that too. As he slams 2 beers in front of your 2 compatriots, did you want to order anything?
Yeah, I'll get some food.
Okay. He's like, okay, writes that down real quick. He's like, we'll get right back on that. I have to go fix this beer. And he goes back and he pours like a speck of beer in a bunch of water, and he just it looks like foamy water, very much not like beer, and he slams it to you. He's like, okay, here you go, pay up.
You're gonna, as far as like out of game, you're gonna have to take care of that. My computer doesn't. allow
Okay,
me to
yeah.
do it.
No, that's fine.
So,
And so he slides this thing to you that's very clearly water. It's a little foamy on top, but you could easily tell that it's water. And he goes, okay, here you go. Pay up, please.
how much is it?
For the round, it is
Full price him.
5 copper.
5.
Okay.
Because my reputation is at stake now, so it is going to cost you more for this.
Reputation's worth 2 copper.
I can't charge too much for tap water, so.
You damn right.
All right, here you go. Have fun.
I'll pay whatever. I don't gotta drink it, so.
All right. Yep. All right. On your way. So let's go ahead. So you start walking over to the table, to the very drunken guy.
I hand it off to Drunkens McGee and say, "This one I've poured myself. I hope you enjoy it."
I'd hope that's disadvantage.
Oh, it is, but they were both the same roll.
Oh, no.
So he looks at it, and like by this point, he's like sitting there. He's like, yeah, it's just thanks. And he swipes it from you. He kind of puts it on the table and he leans back, and he's like barely conscious. He's like asleep, sitting up, and he's just like, I hope I helped you out with the library.
Your non-existent.
Say what?
And he just goes,
I didn't hear it. Sorry.
he goes, I'm very glad to have helped you with your library. And he's like sitting there, and then he's just like absent-mindedly, almost out of like habit and reflex, he just goes and starts drinking it. And he just like slams it back, and he slams it on the table, and he goes, that went down very smooth.
That would taste awful.
Doesn't notice.
Well, I thank you for your assistance, sir. And I decided to go off towards the room, kind of disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
And he just lays, he's like, yeah.
Probably sobered him up a bit.
And he just kind of leans back, and he just like before you even hit the stairs, you just hear, like, cause he's out. All right. You're sitting there. You're all sitting there waiting, and soon enough, Kettle comes back with random assortment of food and just starts placing it down in front of you guys and goes, all right, well, you guys enjoy. If you need anything, just go ahead and call for Kettle. And he starts heading back to the bar.
Oh,
Do you guys just want to sit there and eat and then disperse for bed? Or are you guys going to talk about anything?
I would like to kind of discuss.
Huh?
I would like to kind of discuss what happened.
Okay.
Do you guys find anything out from your blacksmith?
Only thing I found out is that I have a sword that has possible magical properties that is trash. Trash craftsmanship.
Blacksmith didn't find out anything.
Cool.
He said we were down there for a day. So I don't know what that makes you feel about the force that's all running out of the library.
That means you were down there for 4.
4 days. It was only a couple hours.
Why was there a forest outside the library? Forests don't grow that fast. Wasn't there when we went down there.
Well,
Not normally, no.
It
you
was a
see-
day outside time.
Yeah, day outside time. We were
Yeah,
down
4
there.
days for us.
Day outside time in
Where the forest
dungeon,
is.
in the dungeon.
Yeah.
How long was the dungeon out of time?
However long that crystal was there, most likely.
Yep.
Exactly.
I assume that crystal had something to do with
I'm so confused.
Don't worry. Ooga Booga Smash.
It's okay. Crystal does that to some people.
He smash thing. He do good job at that. I mean, you all saw.
I do, don't I?
He put axe right in man's shoulder blade straight down to abdomen. I mean, he did good job.
You did kill someone with their own arm.
Quite proud of that kid.
That was
it.
pretty awesome.
Is there anything you could tell me, Zanster, about what happened with your friend there at the before you curled up into a ball?
I know nothing. I was completely overwhelmed. Magic bullshit again.
Is there any way that I can detect anything on this sword currently with either detect magic or arcana checks?
Isn't detect magic a spell?
Yes.
Detect magic
You have
spell. Have it?
Yes.
Oh,
You have detect
All
magic.
all I know is before she, as she was saying something to me, it completely clouded my mind, and I couldn't move my body. Whatever somebody touched screwed everything up, and I was pulled from where I was standing, as though I was a fucking rag doll.
sound upset about it.
I am very furious about it. I'm a very large man. Not something anyone can just do. This bullshit magic.
Yes. Okay, so Fromir, you do have detect magic. However, detect magic only will illuminate objects that might have magical properties in your general area. So it doesn't tell you anything about it. You would do an Arcana check to see if you could tell anything about the object itself, but detect magic itself will only alert you to the presence of magic within 30 feet around you and looking at
Gotcha.
whatever you're looking at.
So it would just be an arcana. Your
Yeah,
arcana
you can
check.
do an Arcana check if you want. Yes.
Well, I'm gonna pull the blade out while we're waiting, and see if I can discern anything from it.
Go ahead and give me an Arcana roll.
12.
Nothing super. Nothing really stands out about it. It looks relatively plain, except for the great craftsmanship in design of what looks to be some kind of animal along the that you could relatively easily discern was probably a snake, but the head on the bottom of the hilt where the head would be seems to have been cracked off. So you aren't getting any magical reading off of it per se. Whether it be that the missing part is what held the magic, or if this is just magically touched based off of some kind of ritual or something.
Alrighty.
I'm sorry, what else was going on?
Waiting for foods, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. As you're sitting there looking at the sword, Kettle comes out, rushes out, and starts handing everyone else their food. Or no, he already did that. He already gave you your food, and he's kind of eyeing you from the bar, just make sure everything's on the up and up. Seeing such a colorful cast of characters is quite the sight. It doesn't happen every day.
Oh, I would expect that.
So, if you guys didn't have anything else to discuss, you guys could.
Oh, I informed them that the blacksmith has work for us if we decide.
Mm-hmm.
He spoke of possible discounts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm interested.
Seems like there's a couple of pathings we can go.
Do we know about the other one?
No.
Currently, no.
So, from what you guys at the table know, is that the blacksmith has offered you guys some work that he would consider future purchases and requests at his forge. Yours would have a little more priority over them. He hasn't discussed any kind of payment yet, besides that, and possibly giving you some discounts, but he also hasn't told you like what the job is. So
Mhm.
it was more of a he's just throwing it out there because he saw that you guys had such a big group. That seems capable enough.
I'm gonna ask
So-
the
Yep.
bartender if he's seen a dwarf recently, besides with us, if we ever came in before.
We have a few dwarfs coming in. What does your dwarf friend look like?
Are you just gonna describe Dopey?
Yeah, 'cause I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. He was in here not too long ago. He had some kind of friend with him. He was in here waiting around talking. Pretty loud fella. He was sitting around talking about meeting some friends here not too long ago. Maybe I don't know. Sometime last week, maybe. He was in here. I haven't seen him for quite a while. He did draw in quite a crowd though, playing here. He said that he was just waiting around for his other friends to show up. He was in here with some kind of bigger fella who kept kind of robed up, which was weird, but he kept insisting that it was just his bodyguard. Him and your blue fella over there came into town with him before they all kind of left town together. I hadn't seen him since.
Okay. Have you seen anyone in town recently that looked human like me but had red skin?
Red skin. I mean, we did have a human like you recently. No, but there was a tiefling fella. I think he went upstairs a little bit before you
Is he
got
red?
here. Yeah, he's red.
Is he red?
White hair.
God damn it. Alright.
Human. There was some tellings of a single particular red-skinned person quite some time ago, but recently, not recently.
Could you tell me anything about them?
Oh yeah, sure. It's quite the legend around here. It's there was well, you know, I was telling you about the artificers that used to be here.
Mm-hmm.
They had a long time ago. Now this is like hundreds of years ago. They had let's say about, so the tale goes that there was a man who used to run a digging outpost out here, and they were scavenging artifacts for a great for some great power items from the old world that they said held some properties. They must have had some kind of say, because they had the whole Crown's Guard used to be around here, so it goes. That even like the mightiest dragonborn warriors who normally patrol only the capital sat around here defending them as he did his work. And he used to have students come down. With him, sent from the capital, as the parents wanted their kids to grow up learning about their history. And so they'd spend the summers down here as he ran a dig site with some of the local some of the local snake people. They used to have these lands, and they would help them just scout out the area because there was tight clan bonds back in the day, but bitter rivalries within the race because there were very many different kinds of these Yantis, they called them, different tribes within the Yanti. Some of them had leaders that were half snake, bottom half snake, top half human. Some of them had some that just had like their head with the snake, and the really weird one was where they had like almost a lizard face, but their arm and the torso and legs were that of a human, but their arms were two snakes. The capital would pay good money to the Yanti for their protection and their help along these expeditions. The legend goes that there were these twins that came down from up north, and they were a rowdy bunch, but they quickly became prized pupils of the archaeologist. Real talented boy. Man. Sorry.
Unprofessional.
His name was Tai Okas. First name Tai, T-A-I. And apparently, the story gets a little muddled from there. But essentially, what ended up happening was quite a few years after these girls, they became quite the problem for him. These twins, they became quite a problem for him. Depending on who you talk to, different things happened. But it said that they had found something. It's never really said what. You talk to this guy, he says some kind of ancient gun. Yeah, right. You talk to this guy, he says some kind of like ancient pair of pants. Like, really, who has an ancient pair of pants? And so it depends on who you talk to. Some say it was a rock. Some say it was a power stone used to power the ancient machines that would often be discovered by Tai. Some say it was a weapon, like a sword or a bow. Really, it doesn't. Really, I couldn't tell you. But they say they would say it was many things. But they say that these twins, they fought over this one because they always found these broken power sources all the time. But they say that this power source was one they found was whole and work, and it was the only one they had ever found. And they said that both the twins wanted credit for its discovery, and they fought over it. And it says that in the scuffle, something happened. There was like a big explosion that split it in half. And in it, one of them got a big, nasty scar across the whole side of her face. And she ended up cursing her twin and blaming her for disfiguring her once beautiful face. The other one, they say, was burned so bright by the sudden explosion and dispersion of energy that it permanently crystallized her skin to a sharp reddish hue. again, this is all fairy tales, though. I mean, but human red person. If you're coming around here asking for that, that's the
Nice.
only red human person.
But it was a long time ago.
This was.
Hundreds
This
of years.
was. Oh my! I couldn't even tell you. I don't
Fairy
even believe
tale
it.
times.
I don't even believe it myself. You see, this has been a story passed down from generation to generation to generation. Really, the person that would probably know about it is
God. That was blacksmith.
really the only person that would know about it would probably be Ty himself. There are some myths that claim that he is out east. There are some myths that say that he died a few years later. But there are some people that say they see him walking around in the ruins of his old dig sites out towards the swamp to the east. What that would be. But otherwise, but I wouldn't give too much faith into those. As I said, they are. As I said, they're like more than legend. They are ancient history by now. Like you'd have a easier time believing that. You'd have an easier time believing that these crazies say that the Dragonborn are the whole reason we have guards in the first place. I mean, that's just crazy talk. So, or talk that our whole quartermaster guard society is the structure is taken directly from dragons. Like, it's all ancient history. It's all whispers of the old ways. But if you want, there's a group of nomad artificers, or so they claim. I could not tell you if they actually do anything good. That are out east. And if anyone would know of a redheaded, or if the red-skinned human, the Crimson Angel, is real, it would.
Okay. Thank you for the.
I mean, I always like to tell a good fairy tale story before bed. Yes.
With that, I think I'll go to bed.
Okay. Rest of yous?
Same. Finish my drink and head to bed.
Great.
I'm gonna ask him for a small cask of beer. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna get a room.
Oh, I'm so sorry, friend. All your friends seem to have bought me out. I will give you this castle. But many of them have purchased rooms with 2 beds. Maybe you could board up with one of them.
I'll go outside. I'm used to roughing it. I've been in far
Alone
worse.
giant drinking his cast outside.
Come in my room if you want, bro. I don't care.
I'll go out.
No.
I might
I'm
not be.
appreciated.
Might not
I
be.
appreciate it, but I'm good. I've slept in very harsh conditions. I'll be fine.
Okay. And so he goes, that will be 2 silver pieces for the cask of beer.
And a cup, please.
On the house. Here you go.
So kind.
All right.
I'm gonna, like, once everything's settled down and everyone's done shit, I'm gonna have a little alone time.
Mm-hmm.
I figure this is the time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I can do though. That's the problem. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of outside asking. But once
Okay.
everyone else is done,
Isn't there a way to give yourself exhaustion?
Yeah, you don't sleep. Ever.
No, I mean I try to sleep for the time we're going to bed, but I failed the role I was going to do, so I have nightmares all night. I don't get any rest.
Okay. Yeah, you can have exhaustion if you want.
if you want it, by all means.
Okay. What do you mean by alone time? Like reflecting, thinking back?
Similar to that, yes. No, what we were talking about before, the voices that I heard in my head when I came to.
Ah, yes.
Am
Yeah.
I able to? I should have asked this before when we were making the character, but is this some sort of a way line between the person connected to me, or do I physically have to be it to talk to that person? If they can speak to me in my head, I don't have the intelligence to do that. I know that, but am I able to call?
Shit, my audio just died. We all just got deafened? What the fuck happened? Oh.
Alright.
I'm alive again.
I'm alive.
We're back.
I can hear.
I believe I'm alive.
So as the night comes to an end, you all have a full rest, barring some nightmares from some of you. With the eating and everything, it was very uncomfortable rest. You all, most of you had a great night's rest. You get a full rest, you heal all the way. Glenn, you had nightmares that kept you up most of the night. You had a hard time refocusing, but we'll go ahead and say that you still got some rest and you ate. You ordered a good meal, you ate some, so you will still get your spells back. You will get your health back, but you will suffer the same points as if you were exhausted. You'll still suffer the penalties of being exhausted.
You see, I thought they had a thing on the page that you could give yourself a point of exhaustion, but I can't find it.
Let me see if I can mess with it.
I was gonna say mine is under condition.
Oh yeah, conditions right there.
Is it condition?
Conditions, prone, exhaustion, level 1. Boom, I said it. So you might have to refresh your page to see it, but I did reset it. Or I did set it. Okay, and as you come to, you all should have hit on your D&D Beyond tabs. There should be something way up top, close to your name, that says long rest. Go ahead and click that for me. That'll reset all of your quote-unquote cooldowns. It'll heal you all the way. And you get so much of your hit dice back, which are used when you take short rests to heal. Okay, so as you come to in the morning, you guys have, well, some of you have some kind of idea as to what you want to do and go on. Some of you have like a really good night's sleep. You guys all slept
separately, so you guys can all head down to the tavern at your own convenience, and meet up or do whatever you do.
Pack all my shit up and head back to the tavern.
I'm gonna order breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
In bed.
How much of that?
Okay. You don't have a way to order it to your room per se, as this is a small, quaint tavern inn, and not a fancy 5-star hotel.
No, I mean like go down like.
Yeah. So as you're walking down, you see Kettle there, and he tells you good morning, and he says he'll have breakfast right out for you if you want. Then he's like, I'll start working on it, and I'll bring it out in a few minutes. I'm sure your friends will be down soon. Do all of you make it down to the general area?
Yeah.
And I'll sit with.
Well, I make it down the stairs, but I tripped on one of them.
So as you all come down, look around, you notice that Zerkix is still not around. He hasn't made it down yet this morning. But the rest of you are coming down. Some of you look a little more well rested than others. As you make it to your table, you see Glyn looking pretty rough. Many bags under his eyes. You see Ness trip on his way down. Good start to his morning. And as you're all getting comfortable sitting down, you see Xanster kind of push through the door and walk in from outside.
Sit at the table. Something to eat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right away.
Convene about whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get everybody together.
I'm gonna tell them about what the captain said, like everything the captain said. Tell them about the gnolls that are invading.
Okay. So as you guys are waiting, do you stop talking as Kettle walks up handing out food?
I don't want Kettle to know about the fact that the village is basically going to get shit on.
Okay. Okay.
To which Ness just shouts out, I'm just kidding.
Okay. So you guys are doing your best to kind of keep hush about it. Okay. He kind of walks up and is kind of like eyeing you guys, kind of looking nosy, but no more nosy than the night previous. As he eyed you guys real hard while you were drinking last night too, so nothing too out of the ordinary. Yeah. So what Flynn will end up telling you guys is that the guard captain is currently dealing with. Well, do you want to tell him? Go ahead, tell him.
Basically, there's a group of gnolls. They're moving a lot faster than normal gnolls, and they're taking out villages and homes and slaughtering the countryside as to the east.
To the east.
So what?
That's pretty high.
Where is it?
Wait, so the Gnoll got control of the Speed Force, or?
Grant, where are they?
They are coming from the west.
The west.
They're coming from
The
the
west.
her flags were mapped along the west coast, or along the west side of this town.
Well, they're gonna probably
Heading.
moving really fast.
Heading north east. Like they're zigzag. But they're heading like. But they are coming from the west.
So, she offered. She said that she would give us some soldiers to help us investigate what we saw. Which I don't think we really need to investigate it. Like we saw what we saw. But she said she has a mission for us if we want to go on it.
She gonna pay us?
Probably not. I don't know.
Probably not.
She said she would
It's wrong.
discuss. She said she would discuss further details if you convinced them to go.
We're gonna do
We might-
missionary work.
Maybe is what you're telling me.
There's probably going to be a dope battle though too.
I do like dope battles.
Yes. But there's the blacksmith who also says he has work for us. And then there's a guaranteed potential discounts at his shop for us.
This is
See, you can't say guarantee and then say
Noel
potential.
murdering people,
Well,
fucking ransacking villages.
who knows? Maybe we should split up, go to each location, and see what they have to offer and reconvene.
He did ask us because he said we had a large group.
Mm-hmm. But I'll leave that up to the group to decide.
I'm down for the battle of the
Knowles.
Battle of
I'm gonna help these people with the Knowles.
Yeah, I would like to.
I'm gonna. Ness would like to help with the Knolls. Because without an audience, there's no reason for a bard.
Solo bar.
Alrighty. Well, it seems like Knowles it is.
Alright, so we all go to the captain's tent. Is that what I'm getting?
Yep.
Eat some breakfast.
So, other question. Should we go check on our little blue red thing that went upstairs, the wee person?
Red, white hair.
Red, white hair. Yes, the one who refers to himself as we all the time.
Fucking weird though.
I know he's weird,
And that's why the bard needs an audience.
but he is the only
Probably
one
make sure
that
he's not dead,
touched
though.
the stone.
Yeah.
Walks into the room, he's fucking dead.
Kettle, do you know which room the tiefling was staying in?
Oh yeah. Room. He's on room 1, left side.
Go knock on his door.
Yeah, I'll go with him.
I'll go with him too.
Okay, so you guys walk up and go. Yes.
You're okay? You feeling okay, buddy?
We are feeling puzzled, but intrigued.
Doesn't sound any less the same than usual.
Sounds pretty normal.
Yeah, still weird as shit, but
You want to come get some breakfast?
We would like breakfast.
That's what I like to hear.
Who's standing right in front of his door?
Me, Flynn, and
I mean, like right in front. Who is opening? Who like was
I am-
in?
I know.
well, yeah, he's
I
the one
know.
that pounded on the door. Yeah.
Roll a perception check. Disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Oh yeah. Oh, I rolled very badly on the first one. Oh, even worse on the second one. How does a natural 1 get me?
Oof.
Oh no.
You,
My eyes are glossed over. I'm so fucking
you're-
tired.
you're very tired, and he looks like a red blur to you, and you're just like trying to rub your eyes, like you got just like sand rocks just like in them, like you're just like rubbing them real hard, and you're just like blinking just to make
Coffee,
sure
bro,
it's
let's
even
go.
him, just to make sure it's even him, and you're just like, yeah, okay, let's go. He goes, we will be right down.
I don't like that he had to roll perception for that.
Just to see if he saw anything in his room.
Oh.
It's just Smeagol and red paint, you know.
Yes.
So,
This is what we right there, precious.
he, you hear him kind of shuffling around, grabbing some of his stuff, and he's packed up,
Shuffling around.
and and he picks up all his stuff, and he goes, "All right, let's go." And he like looks at you guys and goes,
We'll explain to him the Knoll situation and at breakfast, and ask
Yep.
him if he wants to come. Maybe get some coin.
"Do you tell him about anything else you guys talked about last night?"
Probably not.
I'll tell him all about the Artificer's legend and everything.
Yeah, that.
And he, as you're telling him about that, he
Seems
sits
like
there.
something he would like to hear.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So he sits there and he like looks up at the sky, pondering, kind of muttering to himself. He goes, "Mm-hmm. We have decided. I will gladly help you with your Knolls, as long as we eventually go and talk to those studious architects."
Nomads. Yeah. I was kind of planning on it, so
Yeah, going north.
I was
Then,
easy.
then you have our cooperation. Okay. You guys sit down. You have a big breakfast. And Kettle goes, "Don't worry, it's part of your room." And he looks over at Xanster and he goes, yours is on the house since you slept outside." And I feel better. So, yours is
Apparently
on
had
the
some
house
sort
too.
of.
So yours is on the house too. And as you guys finish up with breakfast and chit-chatting and kind of catching Zerkix up to speed, what do you guys do? You guys just head on over to the blacksmith?
Guard
Or-
captain, probably. Is it
guard,
captain?
the guard captain, that's what I meant, yes. Okay, so as you walk out of the inn, you see and approach the guard captain. You as you approach the guard
I don't-
captain's outpost, what's that?
I don't tell any of them that it's a girl.
Yes.
I'll forget everything about you fucking up saying she over and over then.
Yeah, because I'll probably do that too. As you walk up to the guard post, it's fairly early yet, so you don't hear. So they're not at their table yet. But as you guys get closer, you can kind of hear shuffling in the tent.
and you hear some like clanging of like armor hitting the ground, and you hear you're gonna go ah shit, like as they're like dropping stuff in there, trying to get ready in a hurry. And then they come out, they're like adjusting their helmet, and they stare at you and go, okay. What exactly have you brought me, Flynn?
This is my team.
They're the worst.
Help.
Fascinating.
Drop it.
They look you all up and down. They're like, yes. Okay. Well, I don't know how much you've heard, but this is more or less a hunting mission to hunt before we are hunted. Some of you look very capable. And they kind of look over you guys, sizing you up, and their gaze kind of stops on Ness. Their gaze stops on Ness for like half a second, where they just shake their head and keep on moving down and looking at everyone. They're like, well, some of you look capable, but beggars can't be choosers. So, we have an issue regarding some unrulies in the capital. Would very much like for it to stay on the outer perimeter of the empire, as opposed to getting any closer. Should you take this, I would be more than happy to float you some kind of payment, as long as you bring back some kind of proof that you have taken care of these nasty beasties. Yes.
Proof will be that you're not getting attacked.
No. Ask her if the ears will be proof enough this time.
The ears.
Yes, something of the sort.
My
Will do just fine. Something of that sort would do just fine, yeah. Seeing as you'll be going out hunting these creatures, if you should come across anything being hired by the Empire, technically, any findings are property of the Empire, but because we would like to keep this on the down low, we are willing to waive that, so anything you find can be yours to keep, and we will also pay you for your services upon completion. Upon completion, of course, we will do that, and as a sign of good faith, and because you are freeing up some of my men, I will have them start looking into some of the things Flynn and I had discussed last night about any history or snake people of the area. Should you choose to accept, and you would be doing the Empire a great service.
Care about the Empire, let's fuck some else up.
Do you say that out loud?
Don't you worry.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
Fuck the
damn.
Empire. I have money.
said the worst of the worst.
Yeah, sure. Let's fucking go.
Great.
How far away is that? You know?
They pull out their map and they're pointing around on it. They show a pattern. It shows a pattern. So about 30 miles out seems to be the last marker. And they say, based on this pattern, she gives you a basic 5-mile radius. And they point it out and they say, so this seems to be where they will land next. Any settlement within this ring is probably where they will lash out. Or you will find them hiding close to this if there's any mountains or any kind of
Caves or anything?
yeah, they might be hiding out in that kind of area, waiting to strike or resting up. So it would be great fortune to catch them off guard in their home base, as opposed to while they are devouring and grabbing people
Settlement.
to sacrifice from these settlements.
Jesus Christ.
So you say with haste we should leave.
You have
Sooner
horses?
better, yes. The sooner the better, yes. That would be most fortunate. It will be about a day and a half to 2 days of travel from here if you leave right now.
By foot?
Yes, by
Yeah.
well, by foot it will be about 3-4 days.
How we getting there?
We would have to walk.
You
In a
guys-
carriage or something.
Are they providing travel for
Or
us?
horses.
I don't know if
They
the
look-
Goliath can get on horses.
They look at your group and
Go kangaroo.
they're like, we could provide a carriage, provided that you provide your own horse.
Nope.
Otherwise, no. As you are being hired for mercenary work, the Empire, and have no contract with the Empire, we cannot lend out our livestock to help.
What about rations?
Rations.
I mean,
we-
if we gotta travel by foot, we should at least have some form of food, shouldn't we?
I think I have rations.
rations we can
Well, I have some too, but I was...
buy. Rations we can provide, perhaps. Is there anything else?
I don't.
You have any
Well,
javelins?
well, what does it take to kill a gnoll?
A good hit to the head, and cleaving clear across its neck is probably the best. Yes.
Alright,
Well,
well,
what's your AC and hit points?
I do not know these words that you speak.
Alright, I get it.
They do wear armor, yes, and they are hardy.
Do they like music?
NA.
alright, let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Yep.
Okay. So as you guys head off to the west, you guys are gonna walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were
So-
provided a carriage, we're walking.
Moving on.
We're on the horses.
We don't have nothing to pull the carriage.
Buy them
Yeah,
right
let's
now.
do that too, Goliath.
Yeah, you want to pull the carriage?
Got Jeff. You do know you could buy some form of horses around town. They are not the greatest, but they would get the job done.
That's money though.
As money.
And obviously
guy
they
with
don't care enough about
95
settlements
gold.
to give us their livestock, so we're just gonna walk.
Well, their horses are bred and raised from a young age to be war animals,
That's fine.
so they are worth a lot of money.
But obviously they don't care enough about the settlements to get us there quickly, so
Not
we're gonna
yet.
walk.
Not that big of a problem yet.
This is what they hired us for. They can fucking take it.
So she looks at you and she says, they say, I would make great haste.
Alright.
And so you guys head out. You leave the wooden structure of civilization somewhat behind. Did you guys want to stock up on anything before you leave, or you guys just going?
We got rations.
Wanna-
You got rations.
What rations were provided? Yeah.
I want
Enough
to
for-
get another javelin.
Enough for 30 rations total. Each ration is about a day's worth of food. There are
30?
7 of you. So 7 times 4 is about 28.
So we each get 4.
Roughly.
Say the Goliath takes the extra 2 because he's big as fuck.
Yep, you can.
Hungry boy.
And you swing by your blacksmith friend and pick up a javelin. Which will cost you about 4 silver.
How much?
4 silver.
Alright, and a bag. Just
Uh,
a fairly large bag.
You start with a pretty big bag.
Alright.
And with all that out of the way, if you guys don't have anything else to do, you'll head on out towards east, where they
That's
dictated on the map. West.
West, yes.
West.
And they were heading northeast. West.
Yeah, west.
Okay.
I like what you said.
So, you guys have 4 days of, roughly 4 days of walking.
Jesus Christ, we're slow.
You are on foot,
Ah, but
And
you
not
said
in a hurry.
30 miles.
30 to 40 miles, yes. Let me look up walking speed per day, but I think it's like 7 miles is all you walk in a day.
Fuckers.
Do we get road encounters? You gonna do that?
Yeah, I am.
Awesome.
Oh. Okay. So it'll be about 4 days round trip. Okay. It takes about, you get 24 miles done in a day at normal speed. If you guys are trying to be, well, see, that's normal. You guys would be moving slow because you don't have a mount or a vehicle. So you guys would be moving slow, which is 18 miles a day.
Which would still be 2 days there, 2 days back.
Mm-hmm. Move a normal, fast, or slow pace is shown. Okay. Cover the distance shown.
Gavin, you look like one of those found footage movies.
Those what?
Oh,
The found footage
Cloverfield?
movies?
Oh,
Yeah, that shit.
I don't know what that is.
I'll tell you about it tomorrow.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You know,
kind
like,
of bad.
have you ever seen one of those movies where like it looks like someone's recording it on a phone camera or something?
Blair Witch.
The entire movie. That's a found footage movie.
so as you're going, so are you guys gonna try to be moving quickly, or are you going to be just traveling at a walk's pace?
Traveling normal.
Yeah, just
Not,
walk
Yeah.
down.
not trying to overexert.
Yeah, it's a long go. I ain't gonna fucking
Run the whole
hustle the
thing.
whole time, man.
Especially because he's already
Alright.
exhausted.
And I'm already.
So I need two of you. I need two of you. Who are gonna be my two?
Mike and yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, I need both of you to roll a perception check.
Oh, I forgot what that is. Hold on, where that is. Found it.
Natural one.
All the way back.
8 minus 1. I got a 7.
Wisdom. So 19 total.
No, just Gavin and David for right now.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so as you're walking through, David is watching the ground.
I got
Looking
something
out
else.
real good.
I got something else going on.
He is not
Not
paying
on his
any kind of attention. And Gavin, you rolled a 7. You don't see too much. The trip goes. Your first 3 hours go smooth enough. No, not too much. For the next 2 to 3 hours, I need 2 different people to make perception checks. Okay, Jake.
I do.
I'll be second then.
Okay, 17 total.
17 as well.
So, as you guys are walking, you notice the area is kind of rough. It's not like a grassy field. The kind of soft roads start to dissipate, and there's a path, but it's still rough going along this path. It's a bit rocky as you're heading. You're not like in the mountains, but you're you're not in the mountains, but you are you're on like the bottom that would be leading up to some mountains, just that kind of rocky terrain. You guys notice the birds kind of swinging around. You notice some rocks
Wow.
that are about the size of Jeff. But you guys keep trucking along, and it goes smooth enough. For this one, I need Shadow and Glenn to make perception checks. Glenn, yours is at disadvantage.
Tasty.
16.
6.
So as the sun goes from it is like 2 to 3 in the afternoon now. It is probably the hottest point of the day, but it's still comfortable. when you don't notice too much, Shadow, you see off in the distance a bit, there seems to be a ragtag group of individuals moving opposite of you. So they're coming like towards you guys as you guys are walking straight. The road is, while you guys are in a wider formation because your group size, the path would not be big enough for them to squeeze by if you guys remained in such a wide space. So you would have to shrink down to like a 2x2 line to let them squeeze past. Do you guys do that, or do you hog the road?
So we shrink.
That's
Yeah.
that
Yep. So
He
as
said me and the block.
side.
As-
Trying to shoulder check no one.
as they're swinging past, it seems to be a group of like 5 individuals, 2 on horses, 3 on foot surrounding them, armed a bit more, and they're walking away. They don't pay you too much mind, but the people with on the horses kind of look over at you and kind of nod in acknowledgement and thanks as they head on past you. You guys travel the rest.
Get our horses.
You guys travel the rest of the day with relatively no issue. And as the sun starts to set, you starting to hit your 8-hour mark of travel. You guys try to push on for another hour, or do you guys try to set up camp? If you guys try to push on for more time, you guys have to roll to see if you start taking points of exhaustion. So,
I'm good.
so keep
You're
that in
already
mind.
on your last leg.
Looking at the exhaustion chart, 6 just kills you. So.
Yeah, it does. So
I'm ready for bed.
I'll vote to set up camp.
all right. Someone make a perception check to look for a place to camp.
You want me to?
Whoever wants to do it, I do not care.
Let this man roll dice.
Oh, 14.
Okay, so you find a ways off to the side of the road, relatively nice enough. It's a lot of rocks around. There's not much like overhead cover. But it will block. You find like a little area that would kind of like block you from like the sides of if like wind was blowing at you. Between some of these like bigger rocks, there's like a little nestled space, and there seems to be a like burnt out campfire area where it seems like many travelers stop and make this their resting spot as they travel from city to city, as the town you just came from is a big traveling merchant town. It seems like this might be where they tend to stop on their way into town. About a day's travel out.
You guys want to stop here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, so you guys set up. You guys set up camp. It's a beautiful starry night. It's not too chill. It's not too cold. It's not too cold, and it's not. There's not like a cloud in the sky. You guys relax. You guys sit there and relax. You guys sit down and relax in for a night's rest. Who is taking first watch? That's not Glenn, because he'll take the
Yeah.
long exhaustion if he stays up anymore.
I can.
Okay. 2 people with a group this size. So who else?
I can.
Okay. So Flynn and Shadow. Flynn, do you have night vision?
Do.
Okay. So both of you go ahead and make perception checks.
-1 perception looks my guys. What are you talking? I'm gonna roll my shit this entire game. They're gonna get in battle.
It pretty much rolled under 10.
All right, Flynn, what'd you roll?
Rolled an 8.
8. Well. Okay. The night air seems cool. And you're kind of just like looking up at the stars, gazing off. Okay. And Shadow, nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. You guys start to, you guys get mostly through your watch. When you hear, you especially, a familiar sound of the tightening of a crossbow string letting go with a as right in between your guys' head into a rock behind you with a lands an arrow. And as you both look up and see this, you see about 5 shadowy figures stepping up, approaching in on your group. And before you guys have time to say anything, we're going to wrap it up, and we will jump in on that, on your guys' reactions to that next week.
Orale, a cliffhanger.